I am a master's student pursuing global advertising and branding. Whenever someone asks me what my course is, I just say advertising. That's all they need to know. This presentation is going to be very informal. I'm still in the middle of my submission season, so I didn't have the time to put a very comprehensive presentation together. But this is from the perspective of a student, so it's like top secret information. You're never going to get this anywhere. All right, I'm going to give you some background about myself. I'm from New Delhi. I've already mentioned that. I'm probably going to mention it many more times. I have an undergraduate degree from the University of Delhi in management with a specialization in marketing. I was not particularly very interested in my degree back home, but in my third year, when I chose my specialization, I had a module called Advertising and Brand Management, which quickly became my favorite module, and it stuck in the back of my head, really solidified that I wanted to work in marketing going forward. I graduated in 2020, which was the worst year to graduate ever. My country was in the middle of the COVID crisis, and the slumping job market was the least of our worries. While at college, I did a few internships at some national newspapers back in India because I really love to write, which really comes into clutch doing my degree because we write a lot, we have to give a lot of presentations. So I really enjoyed that part of my degree. After graduating, I did an internship at a social media firm where I worked with a lot of food and beverage brands, restaurants, hotels. I did their social media, account management, all of that, copywriting. It taught me how to take pictures, edit pictures, all of that. I worked there for a few months, and then I moved on to work at another firm as a brand consultant, and I continued working in the food and beverage industry. I was lucky enough to work with a lot of great brands like JW Marriott and some Michelin star restaurants like Nobu, Adrif Kaya, all of that. I love food, I love marketing, and I know that I want to make a career in that, but I knew that working in Delhi, at some point I was going to plateau, and if I want to make it big, I have to perhaps move to another country or go into academics, which is why I'm here today at a top 100 Russell Group University in the UK. I'm going to begin by telling you guys a little bit about what it's like living in Southampton and studying in Winchester. I live in Southampton and I commute to Winchester every week to attend my classes. Coming from New Delhi, which is a big metropolitan, I felt very out of place in Southampton because of how small it was. But over time, I've really come to appreciate the novelty of a small city like Southampton, especially as a student. It really gives you the opportunity to concentrate on your academics. Because there are two big universities in Southampton, you have a lot of opportunities for students, not just in terms of discounts and offers, but also jobs. You always have someone to rely on. These are just some pictures I've taken. Most of these are from the campus. This is the St. Mary's Stadium of Southampton Football Club, who did not perform very well this time at the league, so let's not pay too much attention. This is from Winchester. This is from my class in the West Wing, from the Winchester Christmas market. Winchester is 15 minutes, just about 15 minutes from by train from Southampton. There's also a shuttle bus that takes students from Southampton into Winchester for free, and you also have the bus starting in 2023, I think the fall of 2023, we're going to have even more buses coming into Winchester from Southampton, which makes it very easy for students to commute. I chose to live in Southampton because I also work at the university, so I wanted to have better access to all the other campuses. A lot of my friends from India also live in Southampton, which is why I chose to live in Southampton. But from where I see it, I think Winchester and Southampton are both great cities to live in, especially as students. We always have a joke that whenever we come to Southampton, it's like a weekend getaway for us because it's so pretty. It's like all these old-timey buildings. People are so kind. There's these shops to go around. If you ever go down to the high street, there's this wonderful gentleman who's always painting the streets of Winchester. Just adds a little charm to Winchester as a city. Like we were just talking, Southampton and Winchester are both very ideally located at the southwest coast of England. It's very close to a lot of major cities. I've had the pleasure of going to London many times. I'm there every weekend. It takes just under 2 hours to get there. I've also been to Nottingham and to Cambridge, where I actually went from through the university, which was fantastic. There's also Southampton is at the coast of England, which is not very common for other cities. Like, you have access to a lot of waters, which coming from New Delhi, which is a landlocked city, is great. Like, I've never lived around waters. These are also some pictures I took around Southampton. As international students, when you're uprooting your life from one country to another, academics and your living, your accommodation are, I think, in my opinion, equally important. And Southampton being so pretty and like being surrounded by nature and greenery really makes it such a wonderful place for students to live at. This is just this is how the sunsets look here every day, honestly. Like, just pink, orange skies. Never seen sunsets this beautiful. This is recently from one of the parks. I don't know who's doing gardening in Southampton, but they need a raise. These are so beautiful. This is in Eastleigh, a nearby city, and this is like 5 minutes from my house. I can't believe, I have to pinch myself every time that I live by the water. It's so lovely. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what being an MA GAB student at WSA is like. So being a student at GAB, it's really taught me to be an independent and a collaborative learner. So every class that we do, we have to do like group work, we have to do a lot of presentations, we have to do a lot of practical work. So one of our courseworks was creating like a social media profile for a business that we came up with ourselves. And we had to work on it for a period of around 2 months, I would say, and we were assessed on at the end of that. We also got to work on a live project with a luxury hotel based in Maldives, and then write a critical report on that. A course like this, you have to be constantly updated with whatever is happening in the industry. Now, the course is called Global Advertising and Branding, but it is much more than that. We study a lot about social media, PR, communications. So the name really does not do it justice. It is so much more wide than what is revealed with the name. So we have 3 modules. The main one called GAB. We also have professional and academic studies, and then an optional module for which I chose creative thinking and problem solving. We are assessed on the basis of a critical report at the end of every semester, which is 100% of, which is given 100% of weightage. And this semester I was very lucky to get a really good score on that, which could not have been possible, of course, without all the academic support that is available at the university. So we have 3 or 4 libraries at the university, like different campuses. The one at Winchester gives you access to a lot of industry magazines, journals. I know that they have like a knitting and weaving collection, which is really famous. I know of some people who literally travel from India all the way to Winchester just to access that resource. All of these magazines that we get to read and just keep yourself updated on. There's also every student is assigned a personal academic tutor. For me, that is my course leader. Her name is Professor Laura Campbell. You can arrange like appointments with them, like 15-minute, 30-minute sessions with them to talk about your academic progress, your career ambitions, everything. Sometimes I just fix up an appointment to have like a general chit chat with her. And every single appointment has been so insightful and given me so much guidance and has really helped me improve my score this semester from the previous one. We also have something called the Career and Employability Services. Similar to the PAT sessions, you can schedule a few appointments with them every few weeks. They have, you can also like drop in and have a few sessions with them at the WSA Cafe. They can really help you build a robust CV, help you look for opportunities across the country, secure internships. I've had about 4 or 5 appointments with them, and the CV that I had at the beginning versus the one I have now are like completely like miles apart. So that's something that not a lot of students make use of, but it's something that's really, really valuable. But I also want to talk about my work as an international student officer. So I work at the university alongside the International Student Office, which is Zoe and Ria. which means I manage social media, the international social media channels, including Instagram and Twitter. If you guys want to follow us, please go ahead. So that involves, like, I'm always around campus just shooting pictures, taking little interviews, and like figuring out what it is that international students can be doing at the moment. That is also, I've also featured in some promotional videos for the university. Really bad screen capture. I've also worked with the Chinese social media team to work on a video about the Chinese New Year. Also participated in a lot of webinars alongside Ria, I think last month, and events like this. And this has been probably like my favorite part of my university journey. Of course, it looks great on my CV because it pertains to my degree and pertains to what I want to do in the future. But it has really allowed me to form so many more connections, a great network with other students and staff members. And yeah, this has truly been like one of the best opportunities. Alongside this, I also work at Knox, which is our Waterside campus, and we're currently working on a video, a promotional campaign for one of their doctoral programs. We actually got connected to this program through Zoe, through our work at the International Student Office, which has been great. And I've got to travel to Cambridge through this project, and I will be traveling to London at the end of this month to shoot at the Natural History Museum. So there's a lot of opportunities available for students in terms of not just academically, but also in terms of like employment that you can do literally on campus. It's just you have to really seek out those opportunities and like make networks, and people will refer you to opportunities that suit you. Yeah. Lastly, I want to talk about the community at Southampton. There's a lot of people from Asia. I myself am from Asia. There's a lot of Chinese, a lot of people from Korea, Japan, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. I think I have friends from over 25 different nationalities. We also have a lot of people from Europe, US, Canada. In general, you will never feel alone, especially if you're Asian. You will never feel alone. You'll always have somewhere to go. You will have restaurants to go to. You'll have grocery stores, so you won't even have to miss out on all the delicious food back home. Everyone is super, super nice. Wherever you go, like there will always be a smile. There'll always be a reassuring nod at the end of the on the other side. There's a lot of societies as well. There's a lot of international societies, a lot of clubs you can become a part of, a lot of just communities that you can be a part of outside of the university as well. I know there's a really big Persian community, a really big Saudi community, really big Chinese community as well. If you ever do feel alone, if any student does feel alone, like one thing you can always bond on is food. Like I love hosting people over at my house for like lunches. Like I think this is at Zoe's house actually, but that is like a hot pot at my friend's place. This is also like a Galentine's dinner we did at my place, another Indian dinner we did at my place. So that's something you can really bond on. But the community in general is super diverse, not just in terms of nationalities, but also just experiences. My biggest learnings, honestly, come from outside of the classroom, just learning from friends. It's been so wonderful to be here. And yeah, that's about it. I'm 2 semesters into my journey, and I've got 1 more semester left. And like that's my only complaint with the university. I wish it was slightly longer because I really do love being here, and I'm so grateful to be here. Yeah, that's about it. If anybody's got any questions, you can let me know. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we have an entire social media dedicated just for international students, and we're always very eager to help out. So please go ahead. All right.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Well done.